Hey guys, it's Rawad from Huntington Company, and I have missed posting videos on YouTube for you guys to admire some of the coolest vintage and neo-vintage watches with me. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been off the grid trying to source the coolest and most special watches in today's market. For some reason, something came to me and I just had to find some of the coolest watches in the market to show you guys. If it's either watches that are underappreciated, undervalued, or just not as popular. So today, we release 15 vintage, neo-vintage, and modern watches. Everything from Audemars Piguet to Rolex. And I am so happy to be able to do this. The change for Huntington Company, I think, is going to be for the better. We're going to be looking at the watches that I am truly passionate about. The stuff that no one's talking about, from small precious metal AP Calatravas to even Breguet classiques. And even hidden in this collection is a pocket watch. So let's turn the camera around, take a closer look at what Huntington Company is becoming, and I hope you guys love it and are just as passionate about these watches as I am. We're only going to be able to highlight a few of these 15 watches because we can't be here all day. So if there's anything that you loved in this video and you want to know more about, please comment below and I'll make sure to make a video just for you about these gorgeous vintage watches. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let's turn the camera around and let's take a closer look at what we have today in this week's curated collection. As always, let's start with Rolex, the bread and butter of the watch shop over at huntingtoncompany.com. Today, we're taking a look at 4 Rolexes with the same cases and bezels, a GMT and 3 dive watches. All 4 of them have tritium lume and all 4 of them have the same case design and oyster bracelet. But the one to pick out of all 4 is the no date 14060. And it's not because it's the only example without a date feature or because of the tritium cream color that it has. The reason that I wanted to showcase this is because of its dial, a spider dial, something that is actually fairly controversial when it comes to patina. To some, a damaged dial that isn't worth as much, and to others, a true love when it comes to Rolex patina. For me personally, I love everything about it, from the texture it gives off to the way that the lacquer looks like an ocean with waves crashing. And that's not me being poetic. If you take a look at it closely, that is truly what it looks like. And again, best part of this all is that you don't often find spider dials on the reference 14060 paired with very nice tritium lume and a case in great condition. This stunning example with its original box and papers is a watch that you truly can't go wrong with. The Submariner can be mundane at times, so to find a reference in an example like this that is just so much more special makes a Submariner worth owning. Again, check this example out over at huntingtoncompany.com. A watch like this is a perfect addition to any watch collection. Staying in the realm of Rolex, we also have a 36mm Datejust smooth bezel and the Daytona, which is what we're going to highlight out of these two. From this era, what we have is an error dial from the reference 116520. Known as an APH dial seen from late 2010 to 2013, these error dials are known for having the A, P, and H on the word cosmograph a bit more separated from the rest of the word. And as we know, the Daytona market has always been crazy. It is a watch that has always seen a higher price tag than its retail value, no matter what year it is. This example is in great condition, almost like new old stock, unpolished and a complete set down to its hang tags and bezel protector. Best part is, for under $25,000, this in my opinion is actually seen as an affordable example in the Daytona market. So if you're looking for something a bit more special but do want to pull the trigger on a Daytona but don't want to spend more than $30,000 on a Zenith or a more modern example, this is perfect. It's still special and unique because of the error dial. It is still rare and in great condition, so it is also a great choice for your collection. Now we break into some oddities, a Rolex pocket watch, a Cellini, and a Breguet. Breguet is known for classic design, those Breguet hands and a guilloche dial. The Rolex Cellini has always been undervalued and underappreciated when it comes to Rolex models, but this one has a heavy platinum case which looks great in 38mm and a gorgeous tuxedo dial. So for anybody looking for something a bit larger or having a bit more weight on their wrist but need a dress watch, the Cellini line is actually a great place to look at But out of these three, we're going to have to take a closer look at the Rolex pocket watch, something that you don't often see. But better yet, take a look at what it says. Rolex Precision Lever, 7 world's records. This is a Rolex that on the dial states the world records it has broken when it comes to the movement. When has Rolex ever done this? Did you even know that Rolex used to boast about their world records? I think that is so cool and something that you never see when it comes to Rolex. And that's why it makes this watch so special. Anybody that buys it, anybody that looks at it is gonna know. I think that is so cool. And it's guilloche style sunburst dial, and the patina on those blued hands is just gorgeous. If you're looking for a great paperweight or just something to fancy up your office or desk a little bit more, take a look at this pocket watch. Ticks super loud, which I love to hear. I think it's super satisfying, and I think it is a great choice to pair it with a pocket watch stand on the corner of your desk just for some sort of conversations for meetings or when anybody stops by. Now we actually take a look at a brand that is fairly underappreciated. To me, there's only one watch that they are truly known for in the world of horology, and that is the Finissimo. That is really the only watch that anybody talks about when it comes to Bulgari, but you have to understand why. The Bulgari Octo Finissimo is a gorgeous watch, and for around $10,000, I think it is also undervalued. But even more than that, we get to take a look at the regular Bulgaris with an ETA movement inside, an open case back, and beautiful and unique lines and design elements. The Bulgari Octo, I think, is super undervalued and underappreciated, and Bulgari themselves being so important in the world of horology, making one of the thinnest watches. Why are we not looking at these more affordable examples as a true value prop in the world of watches? I just don't get it. The Bulgari Octo Roma with the black dial seen here, you can see is a bit more rounded and subdued and easier wear in my opinion. But the one that we have to look at today is this blue dial. We often talk about rare iterations of certain models for these more popular watches, but with Bulgari we don't talk about them to begin with. But today we are taking a look at a super rare example of the Octo. This aqua blue dial is gorgeous, and in my opinion it is the nicest blue dial for under $10,000 that you can find. And if you think that you know of one better, please comment below, because take a look at this aqua blue. This is a super rare example of the Octo. Only a handful for sale at any given time, and most of them are seen overseas. But today we have one in the vintage watch shop over at huntingtoncompany.com, and I think that is so cool. If you're looking for something affordable, something with a pop of color, one with true unique design elements in the under $5,000 price range, this Octo blue dial with its original box and papers, an open case back, a beautifully finished ETA movement is the choice for you. A 38mm case that I think wears beautifully even on my 7-inch wrist. A date window that has been executed perfectly and is almost unseen unless you need to look at it and appreciate it for what it is. The Bulgari Octo is everything you need when it comes to unique design, a dress tool watch, and something that is truly unique in the world of watches. Now, as you may or may not know, we always like to end a curated collection video with a bang, and what a bang this is. I want to talk about all 4 of these Audemars Piguets, from a 36mm Mark III all steel Royal Oak to one of my personal favorites, the 33mm ultra slim Royal Oaks, and even the 32mm precious metal Calatravas that are actually fairly uncommon, especially with a matte blue dial like this. But I can't, because we don't have all the time in the world. All 4 of these watches are amazing, and all 4 of them are actual value props in their own price ranges. The $5,000 range and under for the Calatrava is a perfect choice. For well under $15,000, the 33mm Royal Oaks that wear like Datejust are so underappreciated, and an all-steel 36mm Royal Oak that wears larger but is still under $30,000 is a great alternative compared to the more modern stuff. But you know what we have to talk about today. You see it in all solid yellow gold, that crazy Audemars Piguet bamboo. Let's take a closer look at the Pave dial and that bamboo finish on the integrated bracelet and bezel. In today's world of watch collecting, the King Midas by Rolex and the Piaget Polo are the precious metal dress watches everyone is talking about. And the craze of dress watches like this are gaining very heavy momentum when it comes to watch trends. While everybody is looking at Piaget, Rolex, JLC, and even Patek, we get to take a look at Audemars Piguet. This is what AP used to be all about. A solid 18 karat yellow gold integrated bracelet, ultra slim case with a bamboo finish and a wild pave diamond dial. Now let's be honest, is it easy to look at the time at a quick glance? Not even close. But I can promise you this, if you have this on your wrist, you are not worried about what time it is. You are just there, wherever it might be, to have a good time. And that's what this watch is all about. From the class to the design of this piece, it has it all. This is what AP used to be all about from the 70s, 80s, and even before the Royal Oak hype. I love this Audemars Piguet bamboo, a super uncommon and rare example with a pave dial and an ultra slim case, an 18 karat yellow gold, gorgeous dress watch. What more could you ask for? As always, thank you guys so much for checking out this week's curated collection video. I am so happy to be back, and I hope you guys love the way Huntington Company is changing, in my opinion, for the better. I can't wait to bring out more special precious metal dress watches, small Calatravas, and cool Bulgaris. I can't wait to showcase some of the coolest watches in the watch world, if it's vintage, neo-vintage, or modern. I think this change is happening for the better here at Huntington Company, and I'm so glad that you guys are part of the journey. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.